of the game with Sean, going to the Isotopes game.
Yeah.
And caught the tail end of the Journeyman League they're running over there, which is like a...
Wait, they actually are running a Journeyman League?
They are. The EO is Lucky.
Oh, God damn it.
And I was watching a game.
Where is the communication with the larger group?
Well, because none of the guys who are on that are actually a part of the group.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure Lucky is not. And if he was, he quit. But anyways, hilariously enough, I'm sitting here watching a couple guys play.
Am I still friends?
They were doing and it's kind of like an adjusted, so it's not. It's like an adjusted slow grow league. And so I'm watching them play, and it's a Protectorate against Cricks battle box with I think they had like a unit in there or something like that. And he goes to spray with Malekith and goes, well, I boost to hit and spends one focus.
Huh. But yeah, that Lucky, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I boost to hit, I spend one focus, and he just starts rolling 3 dice on all of his hit rolls.
Wait, all?
On all of them.
Oh,
and I
gosh.
go, that's not how that works. You got to boost per model.
Yeah, when Lucky played before, he got all kinds of rules wrong.
I that's what Lucky told us. And I was like, no, it hasn't been that in
ever.
I didn't say that, but I just know it's not that way. It's you have to boost per target. But yeah, I was just like and Lucky actually mentioned he heard me correct them, and from kind of across the room was just like, oh, that must have changed. And it's just like,
nope.
No, that's never changed. That's always been the way this has worked. And it's like it's upsetting because it starts at 10 in the morning on a Sunday, which I can't make. Like I'm
at 10 in the morning.
10 in the morning on a Sunday. I'll never be there.
Crud, I can't do that either. Yeah, exactly.
But the thing
I might do that this week just because I'm on call.
The thing that I noticed that is sad is that all of those guys, because there's a couple people in there who have played before, but they haven't played since like Mark 1 or Mark 2.
Yeah,
they've never played in Mark 3. The incredibly sad thing is that people are learning to play the game wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mentioned this to Sean.
Hey, Lord Rourke's in the chat.
Hello. It's been a while. Life happens. People move to town. People don't move to town. It's been a long time since we've put anything up. We're trying something different today. We're doing a dojo hangout and chat time. Talk about some different list ideas.
Yeah, state of the game.
What
we're looking forward to.
Yeah, stuff like that.
That type of thing.
It'll be super cool. But anyways, I was talking to Sean about it on the way to the game afterwards, and he said, well, I mean, I guess if they all agree on the rules, it's fine. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's true. If they want to play a house rule, whatever. But if they ever want to go play somewhere else, like a tournament or even just another store that has a normal gaming night, they're going to run into the fact that they are playing the game wrong.
Exactly.
You know, and especially in a tournament setting or in a more competitive meta setting, that's never a good time to have in the middle of a game somebody go, that's not how you play. Like it was a very strange. It was very strange. And the thing is, there's like 10 guys playing in this.
Holy shit!
They've got a bunch of people who are new to the game who have never played before. 10 guys playing this.
Dude,
but they're all.
Man.
The problem is they're all playing it wrong. There's not a lot you can do about that because I can't be
sadly,
there.
We need somebody over there that legitimately knows how to play that. Mm-hmm. That makes me a little sad.
Well, and the thing is, like I said, Lucky's the EO.
Yeah, but the thing is, I've never seen Lucky play a correct game.
That is true. That's what I'm saying.
Even in Mark II, I have never seen him play a correct game.
Yeah.
Who was his friend?
Tony.
Right?
And Tony doesn't play correctly either. I think that's an old account that he hasn't posted on in about 20 million years, partially because it was full of a bunch of really nasty stuff.
Yeah, that was just him getting tagged.
Yeah.
Did he tag himself?
He may have. I remember because I'm friends with this account too, and he posted on it like, "Hey, finding a new account."
Oh yeah, he tagged himself.
If you guys like those of you those of you who want to see it will get invited, but those of you who won't, and So the thing is, he's playing Grimkin now, which I'm like, you don't know how to you don't know the rules of the game this well, and you're playing Grimkin, which is super complicated. Like, I don't even want to. No, thank you. But enough about that. I think it's
okay. I think we can get started.
It's time to jump in.
Ryan may or may not hop in.
Sabra!
I know, right? Lord Orc, if you got any suggestions for us, by all means, hit us up. Where do we want to start with where we've been lately? Because probably go into that.
I think so. I think a state of should have turned left would probably be a good idea.
Life has happened. Mm-hmm. Reilly's girlfriend moved to town, so kind of lost him due to that.
Yeah, she moved to town from Southern California.
Yep.
So obviously that's a huge pull on my time. That I'm not at all upset to have. In fact, I'd rather enjoy it. We were long distance for 2 years, 2.5 years actually, and so having her here is awesome. But it's definitely been a draw on my time, so I have not been as able to be around.
Yep. David blames tax season for him not being around. He's an accountant. Mm-hmm. And pretty much anybody else I've had over on Saturdays hasn't had time to do a game and record.
It's true.
Which has been a bit of a problem.
It takes any of you guys who have ever wondered how long it takes to do these kinds of things. A lot of times when like me and Ben record, I get over here sometime between noon and 1.
Yeah.
We don't get done with the whole process of recording until 5:36.
Yeah.
And then there's normally an hour and a half to 2 hours of editing that takes place afterwards. 3.
I've got
even
average 3 hours editing for each one for me. And
so
it's one of those things for me. It's like painting. I don't enjoy the process, but I very much enjoy the finished product. So sometimes it's just difficult for me to keep going.
Sure. And so the finished product that you guys see, which is normally like an hour and 15-minute, hour and 20-minute video of us playing and chatting afterwards, there's 10 hours of work that go into that. A great comparison is anybody who's ever game mastered for a role-playing game.
Yeah, no kidding.
For every hour is several hours of work. Sorry, we're reading your.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and read this out loud, Lord Rourke. Our community had a slight drought as players try other games, been busy, and so on. With War Machine being no more than 10 people around here, it's easy for things to slow down. On War Machine Hordes, CID Journeyman, good, okay, or kind of meh. Do you mean Journeyman should go into CID, or...
I think he's talking zeros.
Or zeros. Oh,
we're talking zeros.
Okay.
Which, in my opinion, I thought they started in a good spot. They started him powerful and started reining him back. I mean...
but before that, I want to address the first part about the community. It's like, our group here has dwindled a fair amount too. Mm-hmm. I mean, Sundays has gotten to primarily Wiley and I playing each other, which is a reason I hate Dark Host. But hey, one of the lists that I'll bring up later on today is I played a game against the Satixis theme and had a pretty hilarious spot in that that Wiley had no way out of. It was awesome. Anyways, it's the same here. It's like at most, I think I've had 6 people show up at my house on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. And that's been quite a while ago, if I remember right. It's been a long time.
For some reason, I used to do Friday nights, but my work, changing jobs and my work schedule doesn't really allow that anymore because I can't get a reliable time. So when we have both Saturdays and Sundays for gaming, people often pick one of those, and more often than not, it's been Sundays. But even then, the Sunday crowd has dwindled.
Yeah, I think...
It also doesn't help that our meta is very much tied to school because we have University of New Mexico and CNM.
Yep, we have several universities here in town. I think another thing too, a lot of the people that are in the meta, myself included, are involved in multiple different kinds of games.
Yeah, I'm one of the very few that's not.
Yeah, because I play War Machine and Hordes. I also play a lot of D&D. and that is also a big drain on time. I GM multiple games. I play in at least one more. We have people who have just moved into different life stages. With.
By the way, okay, tax day has come and gone. David better be back soon, and we better be able to get that IKRPG thing going.
That would be awesome.
That'd be legit. Awesome.
But I think I know with myself. Like I said,
looked at the final update for
girlfriend moving into town, graduating, and starting into the workforce, being a teacher now. That's a little bit different on my time. Kevin, who is another great guy in our meta, he graduated this last year from UNM, and to be fair, I'm not entirely sure what he does.
I don't know if he's landed a.
I think he works at one of the libraries on UNM's campus.
Is he still at UNM campus?
I think so.
Did he manage to land that?
I could be wrong. I haven't talked to him in a little while. He's actually hilariously he's wanting to play Age of Sigmar.
Yeah. He was just asking me about some stuff. He should be there this Sunday.
I will be there tomorrow because Alicia works. Yeah. Tomorrow, 2 to 10. So
yeah, I was talking to him yesterday, and he said tomorrow is his Games Workshop day, but he will definitely be there on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then his sword broke on his Victoria Pendrake model.
That's unfortunate.
Which is super sad.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah.
So, yeah, it's like dwindling, definitely. Hopefully we can get that back up.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's go teachers, work to do for Monday. Yes.
Yeah.
You betcha. And the thing is, I'm not just a teacher. I'm an athletic director as well. So I have a lot of time that's put into things for that take place outside of my normal workday, right? Emails and making sure fires are put out and contacting parents because kids aren't eligible for grades, which is always an incredibly awkward email to send. Yeah. I love my job, but it is incredibly exhausting at times and a lot of work.
Yep. All right, so I just finished my beer.
The left-hand Nitro Milk Stout out of Denver. Yep. It's a personal favorite of ours from around here. This is a little bit of what it looks like when poured in the can. You can't see through it.
I know. Anybody that missed it, I think I might have only left it as a story.
Maybe.
So it might be gone though.
I don't know.
I have a picture of Reilly drinking a light-colored beer.
There's no proof of that.
I do have a pic. It did happen.
There is no proof of that. It's in a can.
It's a Hefeweizen. I have yet to see a Hefeweizen.
You can't see if there's Hefeweizen in it. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry, Lord Rock. We actually there's something special planned for a little bit later, which we'll explain later. But
yes.
Let's get to the second half of this question.
I need to rinse this out. I'm going to grab... Actually, no. I'm just going to grab the other porter I've got. I'll be right back.
Cool.
I'm going to wait till you finish that before we bust out the other one.
I like it. Well, I'll get to your other question about the Zero Journeymans. Ben can hop in on that later. I think I started in a really good spot. They started them very powerful and kind of toned them down as they went. I think as we saw with the introduction of the Trencher Journeyman, people are going to like having multiple Journeyman casters in their faction. Now, granted, Signar really likes Journeyman, probably more so than any other faction in the game. But I think the reason why is because
4 now? 5?
They will have
Junior,
4.
Jake's, Trencher. Yeah, Kane.
Junior, Jake's, Trencher, and Kane. I think the reason why they like them so much in Signar is because they're good models that provide something, right? The regular Journeyman,
fluff-wise too.
It makes sense fluff-wise, but the regular Journeyman has Arcane Shield, right? If you look at some of the other Journeymen, the characters that are now all full-fledged warlocks who are also, for the most part, pretty lackluster, they don't offer a whole lot that's decent to the party. I know for myself, in Protectorate, Initiate Tristan Durant is just not that appetizing, not that appealing, however you want to say it. Sure, he gives him True Sight, but I don't ever find myself thinking, man, I want to run this Jack underneath Tristan instead of running it underneath running it underneath my regular Warcaster. I think that 4 points could very easily go to something else in my army because Protectorate is an army that relies a lot on its support, and that 4 points could easily go to support that I want more.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, one of my weird things with the Journeyman Zeros, with the Zero casters, is them changing the ruling so that they can bring their... oh yeah, we're going to go... We've uploaded the PDF for the recent changes, so we'll go over that more or less live. So on that note, no spoilers. Because
Jake's 2 is just a worse Striker 2 dreaming of Striker 3. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Journeyman being able to take their character jacks with them in whatever theme list seems weird to me. Because it does not make sense fluff-wise.
The Zeros taking there?
I mean, it makes sense on an ease of play, like games rules-wise, because...
Yeah, but
I mean, the Iacos bringing Cardibus has been a question for how long that pops up, how often. So,
yes, but how much does Zero level warcasters make sense fluff-wise anyways? I think these are entirely completely fan service models. I mean, for crying out loud,
considering
in the
they
fluff,
had to...
in the fluff, Severius isn't even alive anymore.
Yeah, true.
Severius is dead.
True.
And they're making another version of him from when he was like 20 and still had pimples on his face.
Yeah, I mean, never mind. They had to take the snipe upkeep off of Kane because it was stupid with Haley too. Especially with Ace.
Yes, I mean, fluff-wise, whatever. Zero Warcasters doesn't make sense fluff-wise anyways.
Yeah. But fluff does not equal rules.
No, fluff has never equaled rules.
Incorrect, sir. The reason the Dracodile has territorial is because somebody brought up fluff in CID.
Is that a fluff reason, though?
Yes, that is a fluff reason. In the IKRPG, it describes what he hunts, and so they gave him the territorial rule to charge large and huge bases for free because of his fluff in the IKRPG.
I guess I didn't. I remember that. I remember the post, and I don't remember him bringing up IKRPG. He brings up, "I'm never going to charge a
Monsternomicon.
I'm never going to actually charge a warrior model with my 36-point gargantuan. Why don't you give it something that I charge large bases, because that's what I care about?" That's what I remember reading. Yes, I think Pagani or Hungerford brings up and there's fluff reasons that this works, but I'm pretty sure bringing that up, the person that brought that up didn't bring it up because of the fluff reason. They brought it up because that's a waste of my 36-point model to charge your trencher.
Yep. Lord Rourke, I'm not dreaming with you.
I was dreaming of Snipe with Sloan or Siege for added... No.
Definitely no.
No.
All right, so shall we go on to the actual PDF right now? Because I did not realize the Corruptor was in there.
Oh, the Corruptor is in there. What's changed? Let's see here.
Yeah, distillation. When a living enemy model is destroyed by an attack, immediately after the attack resolve, remove D3 plus 3 damage points from this model's battle group controller. Okay, that's interesting. So it heals the controller, which I hear
is
Scar.
Either the Warcaster or the Journeyman, because it's battle group controller.
Yeah, I don't care about Denegra. I hear Scar.
I mean, sure, that would work well with Scar because Scar feats, and then you use this to heal Scar back up without losing focus.
Yeah.
Also, the new thing, Psycho Venom. When a living or undead enemy model is boxed by this attack, you can choose to take control of it. If you do, remove 1 damage point from it, causing it to no longer be boxed. You can then immediately change its facing for the rest of this turn. The model in this battle group spells through channel whatnot. It's basically the same darn thing that
I think
Caliban can do.
I think that might be the new thing.
No. Caliban can change facing.
I mean for the Corruptor itself.
Yeah, the Bone Rattler. Did it always have Psycho Venom on the Corruptor?
Yeah. I remember one of the reasons you used the Corruptor was to take over models. Okay, so let's see what changed with Distillation. When a living enemy model is destroyed by this attack, from
its Warcaster.
Warcaster. Okay, so they changed that to Battle Group Controller. Probably the same thing with Psycho Venom. Yeah, Okay, so it's just changing from Warcaster to Battle Group Controller.
Which makes sense
for both of them.
Which makes sense for the next one that's coming up, because I believe the next Warjack in line is the Devout from Protectorate, and it just says basically this Battle Group Controller. They're essentially just making it to where those effects work for Journeyman as well as Warcasters, because we all know Journeyman Warcasters aren't actually Warcasters.
First line in their rule: this model is not a Warcaster.
There you go. But I'm happy with FFE on Siege 1. Fire for effect on Siege 1 is decent.
Yeah.
More than decent.
All right. Kane Zero. He has attack type Snipe, Thunderbolt, Trick Shot. So Snipe, giving him Snipe as an attack type was the more recent thing.
Instead of giving him the upkeep instead of Snipe on a stick.
Yeah.
So he essentially
Trick Shot is still solid and tilting sometimes.
So he essentially has some of the same Rune Shot abilities that the other Arcane Tempestus gun mages can choose. The Trick Shot is the different. The Trick Shot is the fancy kind of his being awesome with a rune pistol.
The interesting thing is what he's focus 4, so he can upkeep Fire for effect and use Spirit Door and not boost anything.
Yes.
So his get in and out of dodge is pretty limited.
Yeah, but I think if it was any more than that, he'd be a terrifying assassination model.
Yeah.
Because I mean, think about it.
Well, I mean, then again, Fire for effect boosts attack and damage rolls of target friendly faction models' first ranged attack each activation.
True, but that's only one. He could then boost multiple.
Yeah.
I understand why they didn't do that.
Yeah, it's like he can upkeep it, recast Fire for effect, or he can use Spirit Door with a range 10 POW 10 gun. He's not using a hand cannon. It's not a 12-12. It's only a 10-10.
Yeah, because it's a mage lock pistol.
Yeah.
He's always been that, though.
Yeah.
He's always been a 10-10.
So, all right, okay, 14-10 if he used a snipe. That's still not that big a deal.
No, but I still think it...
Fire for effect is good, though. Fire for effect is really good, though.
But there's 2 of them. He's got 2 shots because he's Kane.
Yep.
And
again, Trick Shot can be tilting.
Trick Shot can be tilting, and even if he's not the one finishing off whatever it is he's shooting, I mean, that's still stripping a focus or a fury off of the caster you're shooting at.
Yeah.
Right? That is still stripping things off, making it easier for whatever else you're going to be shooting him with.
Yeah, I mean, the flip side of Spirit Door is him shooting Ace forward and then bouncing him back with Spirit Door. Spirit Door exists on Kaya 1, like it's always existed on her, so
that would work.
They can do both of that. So, I mean, there's definitely some stuff there. Honestly, I think he's good as a journeyman.
I think so. I think taking Snipe off of him was probably not
of him as an upkeep, but into an attack type.
Yeah, I think that's probably a decent change that puts him a little more in line with where they're wanting to go with this.
Yeah. All right. Severius 0, Focus 5. That's important.
Yes.
Congratulations. Manoth has a 0 caster that is on par with full-fledged Warlocks and Warcasters.
Yeah, Silent Bob.
Yeah.
Has a 5. Kane 0 definitely.
Yeah, he does. Kane 0 definitely does feel like a niche piece.
I'd say...
Which I think is why he's good like that.
I think with the exception of Severius 0, these 0 casters all feel kind of like niche pieces. I think Severius 0 having Eye of Menoth on him just makes it like, why would I not take this guy? Because you can get him for free.
Denegra seems real good too, especially when she's the only journeyman warcaster that you do pay only her journeyman warcaster points for.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you take Black Industries and give her a free arc node.
You could do that. I think with this one, with the new changes, this taking having a 10-inch Eye of Menoth bubble for free, is awesome because +1 is awesome.
+1. Yeah, I find it hilarious that they had to drop his mat and POW by 1 just to make Eye of Menoth go to, oh yeah, we wanted him to be mat 6 P plus S13, not mat 7 P plus S14. So Eye of Menoth affects himself. We forgot that, apparently.
Yep.
I thought that was funny.
I think it's interesting that he has Road to War. I think It'd be interesting to see how it works because, I mean, how much are you going to load him down as far as with Jax?
Yeah.
However,
I think Road to War is more interesting in that you get to move your Eye of Menoth bubble around with that spell.
Yeah, you can move your Eye of Menoth bubble around.
I think that's going to be the biggest use of Road to War with Sevi.
But he doesn't get to move. It's a Warjack in his battle group. He doesn't actually get to move. A Warjack gets to move.
Oh, that's right, huh?
That's why I'm saying I think it's interesting. I mean, if you run him with Blessing of Vengeance, sure, maybe you get an extra 3 inches on your movement, and you can put Blessing of Vengeance into an interesting place to do something. I mean, he's casting Immolation through it, but I mean, he can.
Yeah.
With Blessing of Vengeance, if this stays the way it is, his first Immolation is boosted. Is a +2/+2.
Yeah.
For 2. So he's casting it at
Focus 7.
Essentially
14.
Essentially it's a 7/14, which is not bad at all. You boost. You might need to boost to hit. You might not need to boost to hit. Who knows?
No, it depends on what you're.
No, it's an 8.
It's an 8?
Because Eye of Menoth affects him.
Oh, God. Tilt!
So he's casting on an 8. And
He's
it's a PAL 15.
He's casting as what? The only stat better than him at that point is Harby?
Yeah.
Well, I guess the Witch Coven, while all 3 of them are still alive. Because there are 9.
Unless you cast it with Severius 1.
We're not talking about Severius 1. We're talking about Sev 0. And you can't bring Sev 0 with Sev 1.
I'm just saying you said the only person better than him is Harby at 10. But Sev 1 has Eye of Menoth and
is
can
he
cast
an 8?
through. Yeah, he has an Eye of Menoth. That's where this rule comes from.
Okay,
and so he's a Focus 8, goes up to Focus 9, goes up to Focus 11, essentially. Which is super cool. Blessing of Vengeance is such a great little model.
Oh, no kidding.
I love that character, Jack.
Yeah, 13 points, arm 19 with shield, or counting shield.
Yeah, and it has shield guard, so it can shield guard something.
Yeah, shield guard,
also has defensive strike, and it's a mat 7, mat 8 because you're always taking it with
mat 8.
with
People
Sevi.
says 14.
Like, I mean, that's no joke.
No kidding.
No joke, and it has repel, so if you hit him, you bounce off.
That's I hate that rule so much. Repel gets annoying.
Oh, and he has powerful charge, so he's a.
Yeah. So Mystic Wards is interesting. That's probably not going to get cast all that often. Bradigus has it. He doesn't necessarily cast it all that often.
I think it adds another interesting layer of denial to Protectorate's game because you already have casters like High Executioner Resnick that's just like, hey, you can cast your spells, but if you do, I'm coming for you.
But the thing is, Mystic Wards on a Journeyman means there aren't that many models that are going to have the spell nerf on them. It's Spellcaster's Battle Group that are in his control area, and enemy models targeting a model in the Spellcaster's Battle Group suffer -5.
Yeah, I wonder if because he's Focus 5, they're hoping that he'll have more in his battle group than just 1.
The problem with that is point cost. I mean, because he's, 6 points, probably 19 points because you're putting Blessing on him.
I think almost always, but he can be taken
out of your 75 because you can't use any of your Warcaster's Jack points on that. So if you're putting a second Jack on him, that gets
but I don't see people paying for Sevi 0.
Yeah, but Theme Force, he's free.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe Exemplar Interdiction.
Okay.
Because he's a Scrutitor model.
Oh yeah, huh?
And so he can be taken for free. I'm pretty sure.
That's right. Yeah, I think each Journeyman has.
They should have one theme they can be taken for free.
I think it's maybe one for free, but I think they're allowed in 2 themes.
I know that Kane's obviously allowed in Sons of the Tempest.
Yeah, I know there's a
don't
Facebook
know if
post
I don't know if he's allowed in anything else.
Where
Denny is allowed in Dark Industries
and something. I don't know.
She's probably. I don't know. I'd have to look at it. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we need to talk anymore about Sevi.
No.
I think if we talk anymore about him.
Good on that. You mean 0 points? Yeah. Heavy metal.
Heavy metal.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I couldn't remember which one he was allowed in. I've been reading the book lately. Won it for having a fully painted army.
Dude, grats on having a fully painted army.
Dude, so I've played Protectorate since I got into the game. I'll admit I moved away from them at the start of Mark III. I'm trying to get back into them. My goal is I'm wanting to hopefully be able to go to War Machine Weekend this next November. This upcoming War Machine Weekend, and I'd like to play Protectorate at War Machine Weekend. That's what I'd like to take. So I think I'm
going for Circle.
So I think I'm going to go on a, let's see, that's in November.
Yeah.
So
kind of
a 6-month Protectorate
grind
just to figure out.
Well, okay, considering you have Exemplar CID coming up.
Yeah, the Exemplar
real
CID
quick.
comes up in a week and a half, which is partially why I'm trying to get back into it.
So you have Exemplar CID. I have Tharn CID coming up. So both of our CIDs should be out by the time War Machine Weekend
Exemplar
hits.
CID better be out by the time War Machine Weekend hits. Otherwise, I'll have waited 6 months.
Yeah, because I mean, what we have, blah, 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 blah. So June is Man of War stuff, right?
That's when all that should be released, yes, because the pre-releases were at Captain.
Because I think May is Legion, June is Man of War. So
yeah, June is Man
July
of War.
Is going to be Crucible Guard.
Which the more and more I've seen those rules,
July and August might be Crucible Guard. They might. So August, September, October. That's when Exemplar and Tharn stuff should be out. That's when those CIDs should be in effect.
Mm-hmm.
So I may have a harder time making sure I have my Tharn list right.
Well,
because that'll be coming out real quick.
Yeah, but a lot of the time, the last iteration of CID is very similar to what the actual release is going to be.
Yeah.
So it's pretty. I mean, for example, during the Legion stuff, we were dojoing that list where I said you put the Ravagore in there.
Yeah.
The Ravagore stayed at the point cost that it was at the end of CID.
Thankfully.
Which changed the face of that list almost entirely.
Oh, yeah. Of which it's like it helps against Dark Host, but still against...
well, yeah, but that's because Dark Host is really freaking good. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move
By the way,
on.
I actually figured out what I needed to... I'm not counting FAU infantry because screw that.
So that
to hit maximum FA for circle units and solos, let's see. So to hit max FA for units and solos in circle, I need 1 Gallows Grove, 1 Tharn Whitemane, 1 Wolf Rider Champion, 1 Skinwalker Alpha, and 1 unit of each Cav.
Gross.
I have max FA of everything else in circle, and I have 2 of every non-character, at least gross. 2 of every non-character beast.
That's disgusting. All right, let's see here. Kovnik Apprentice Kratikov. Sorsha, that's right. Boundless Charge on a stick, which is cool. A lot of people were ragging on her when she first came out, and I was like, I would love to have Boundless Charge on a stick.
And I find it hilarious that the devs called out. It's like, yeah, people were concerned about Butcher 3, but we haven't seen that in any reports, so she's keeping it.
Here's my question. Who's better, Sorsha 0 or Sorsha 3?
0.
I would agree. Because I think Sorsha 3... I think Sorsha 3 is going to be a really cool model, because who doesn't want a lady in a fat suit of armor? But I just
So I mean, Sorsha 3 was one Kevin was actually asking me about because he loves Sorsha.
Oh, Sorsha is that guy's bread and butter.
Oh yeah, he is determined to own every iteration of her, and so he was asking me, can you take her without Man War, because he doesn't own any of them. And it's like, okay, her spell list looks pretty decent for potentially going battle group heavy. So
she'd work in Jaws of the Wolf, and she might work in Winter Guard Command, because she's always worked. I mean, every iteration of her, I think, would work better in Jaws of the Wolf than it would in Winter Guard Command.
I don't know that she. I don't think she would do Winter Guard Command. Like, really, the only 2 theme forces I think she would be decent in are Jaws of the Wolf, partially because Jaws will take.
She should be in War Room.
Yeah, she is in War Room. She's pre-released.
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's see
because
how bad she is.
But yeah, Jaws can take the Greylord Forge Seer, which is a Man of War model, which means her Field Marshal works.
Let's see here. I want what?
Commandant. Sorsha
Commandant. She's finally become a commandant. So she's Still not as good as her boyfriend, but...
Is he still her boyfriend? Isn't that why she's wearing the suit of armor now?
I mean, you could call it that, I suppose.
Because the Empress is after her head? Because Vlad is in a political marriage?
That's true. I mean, Vlad is one of, like, morally the best characters in the Iron Kingdoms.
I know, right? Honest. Which is rare.
So, I mean, my guess is he did what he needed to for Umbri, but he probably still has the hots for Kratikov. Like, yeah, whatever. But, yeah, here we go. Commandant Sorsha Kratikov.
So, instead of talking about Sorsha Zero, we're going to talk about Sorsha 3.
Because there's not a whole lot to talk about Sorsha Zero. She's boundless charge on a stick. Nobody else cares.
It's cool. She has no sleeping on the job Winter Guard, which is pretty cool.
That is very cool.
And she will be taken in Winter Guard theme.
Oh, yeah. Plus, she's free.
Yeah. I think that's about it.
So she gets flank, which would be really good with the
flank man of war. It's important to specify the man of war, which is like that. Flank is such a good ability. That's why it's like I don't think she would do anything in Winter Guard Command because when you look at her spell list,
while in this model's command range, friendly faction models gain concealment. She just has concealment within 12 inches innately, which is pretty cool. Because of Storm's Embrace.
Yeah. She is a focus.
If Iron Flesh was the way it used to be, she'd be great in Winter Guard Command.
Yeah, but it's not. Which I'm okay with that. I mean, Stoke the Fires is why I could see her in Jaws. Because target friendly faction warjack gains +2 speed and countercharge. I mean, that's going to be good. And it's a 1-cost spell, so that can be good with bigger battle groups.
She might work well with... like the gunline type of Winter Guard Command, like the
9 rockets.
Yeah, sure, because she can create clouds, right? And it's kind of a knockoff version of Haley 3 trench diggers because they make clouds too and they walk forward. I don't think it'll be anywhere near as good. And I think if you're running that list, you probably run Old Witch 2 because Old Witch 2 is just better at that.
The thing is, she makes clouds for 1 turn, and Old Witch 2 is screw your range.
That's what I'm saying. I think you probably run Old Witch 2, but for somebody who doesn't want to spend the money to get Old Witch 2 but still wants to run a list kind of similar,
he can borrow mine.
Well, yeah, Kevin can borrow yours, but can the kid who wants to play it in like Duluth, Minnesota or whatever the heck, can they borrow your Old Witch too?
No.
Didn't think so.
Unless I'm in Duluth, Minnesota.
Why would you be in Duluth, Minnesota?
I have no idea.
Duluth is in Minnesota, right?
I have no idea.
Oh, gosh.
She seems solidly middle of the road. That is a very accurate descriptor.
Sure. Solidly middle of the road is definitely how I would describe her. When I saw her stats and everything for the first time, I was decidedly unimpressed.
Yeah.
In fact, I was decidedly unimpressed by just about the entire Man of War CID.
Yeah.
A little bit like Jake's too. Yeah, definitely. A little bit like Jake's too. But I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of Warcasters in the game and Warlocks in the game that are decidedly middle of the road. They do good things, but other casters do it better. And the cool thing is if you're not a crazy competitive player,
this is great.
Then knock yourself out with all of those guys. Like, I mean, one of my lists that I'll talk about, that I might talk about a little bit later in this, that I want to play for War Machine Weekend is High Executioner Resnick. Mm-hmm. He is a decidedly middle of the road caster, but I love High Executioner Resnick.
Oh, yeah.
The background on my tablet is High Executioner Resnick. Like, I love that guy. I think he's super cool. Like, I'm not about the fact that he burns people at the stake, but, you know, I love the fact that he's just this beefy, like, martial awesome bro who could go get work done. So he's decidedly middle of the road. I want to play him, so I'm going to.
Noise. But yeah, other than that, Windrush, Winter's Wrath, like, she doesn't do really anything for Winter Guard. Yes, middle of the road is definitely fine. It shows that overlap with other casters. It's
definitely, you know, and I think at this point, the amount of caster bloat that we have in this game, you're never going to get away from overlap with other casters. I don't think it's possible.
Very true.
I think at this point, casters are going to overlap because each complete faction has like at least 15 casters a faction. There's only so many things you can do in a tabletop game, as shown by the fact that some units are never taken. I mean, look at Deliverers and Protectorate. Those things suck.
Tharn Blood Pack.
CID
is coming up. I might actually be able to use them. So. All right. And Denegra, the cheapest of them all. because you don't have to pay for her Jack, which is cheaper than not paying for the Junior. All right. Not to mention she's point cost 4. That's just crazy. Oh, so the iteration they decided to go with after the dev talk on which spells she should have, because I think they said she's going to have 3 spells. Witch Bond is the one that they definitely want her to have, and then gave out a combination of like Curse of Shadows, Venom, Parasite, Influence. Like, okay, what combos work?
Sure.
So the combos they went with: Curse of Shadows, Venom, and of course Witch Bond. Which Curse of Shadows is a really interesting spell in and of itself.
Yeah, Curse of Shadows is really interesting. I like the fact that Curse of Shadows is on there because I think there's some unique decision making that has to go on. She's only a focus 4, which means what you're normally cast even on a Kador heavy, you're needing a 6 to hit, which is not reliable. Which means if you're wanting to make sure the Curse of Shadows gets put up,
you're spending her entire
especially
stack.
If you don't have any souls on her, you're spending her entire stack, which
means
then
you
leaving
don't
her
have Witch Bond.
Yeah, which means you don't have Witch Bond, which also leaves her incredibly vulnerable to being scalped out by something that is good at scalping things out.
I also appreciate that she is the -2 armor spell versus the -3 armor spell.
Yes. Without a doubt. I think
but it's like the more interesting thing for Curse of Shadows to me is the part of a model can advance through an affected model if it has enough movement to move completely past its base.
Yeah.
And then the interesting part is target model / unit suffers -2 arm. It's not enemy. Very, very, very rarely.
Curse of Shadows your own darn thing and then move through it.
Exactly. I have actually pulled that off before, and I believe it was I was playing Mosar.
I feel like there's a Grim Kinlock that has Curse of Shadows.
Is there a Grim Kinlock? Because I know Mosar and Wormwood have it.
I think... Is it the King of Nothing, or does he have Scything Touch? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'll look this up. It's not important, but I'm just looking this up.
But no, I Curse of Shadowed my own medium base unit to go through them and get ahead of them. Stuff like that. It's just one of those. It's cute. It's interesting. I like Curse of Shadows on her. Basically,
is it cute, or is it a Tim Banky? It's cute. It's really good.
It's using it offensively,
it's cute.
Like that. That'd be a Tim Banky cute. It doesn't show up often enough to be something that you should keep in the back of your head very often.
Like if you told Tim Banky that, would he just be
one in 100 games that it happens.
Sure.
Oh man, Venom's just a solid spell. But yeah, the big thing is focus 4. That is not a very good to hit.
No. Yes, I think.
I mean, she has Cold Souls, so I mean, if she can somehow
manage
to
get it, but the thing is, she is not somebody that you want up in the thick of it. I mean, look, she's a Mat 5. She's awful.
Well, Def 15, Arm 14. Arm 14, you can kill her with Blast.
So she's not even a 30 overall. She's a 29.
Yeah, which good. She's a junior, not full fledged. You know what are the stats on the others?
Yeah, but I'm saying the other ones I think are pretty decent. I mean,
Sorsha's a 19.
Sorsha's
15, 14.
Yeah. Sorsha's a 19,
but she has Fog of War.
But she could be a 17, 14.
Are there many Crix models with def debuffs? Statixis have crit knockdown flat. Like flat across the board. There's Mortality, which is -2 def.
-2 def.
-2 def arm, losing corporeal and stealth, cannot gain them.
Stygian Abyss does a def buff, doesn't it?
Stygian Abyss has crit Shadowbind.
Yeah, but it's the witches, so they're just fishing for crits all friggin' day long.
Also, a Shadowbound battle engine is a very sad battle engine, which is part of why I love Hex Hunters.
Yeah, definitely.
And then they also Black Spot has a -2 def debuff on it.
Sure, but Black Spot's so situational.
It is, and it's only on Scar 2.
Is it Scar 2?
Yeah, it's Scar 2.
I thought it was Scaverous. Scar 2?
No, it's Scar 2. Scaverous has Mortality.
Yeah.
The reason I know it's Scar 2 is because
Crix casters.
That's what Wiley played.
Yeah, that's true.
So Sorsha's a 19, Sevi's a 30, screw Sevi. Sevi's a 30, 15.
Yeah, because Severius is awesome.
Yeah. And then Kane's
only an 18.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Nobody's higher than Def 15, or all of them are Def 15. Interesting.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Severius actually gets a +1 def from his other ones because he's an old man in his other ones, so he's a 14.
All right.
Is that the end of that document?
That's got to be your way to make money.
Yeah, that's the end of the document. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about Denegra much anymore, partially just because I don't like Denegra. I mean, neither of us are Crix players.
Do I need to grab a doll so you can show everybody where she touched you?
Actually, to be fair, the last time I played Denegra, I was running that Calandra beast block that I have, and a very angry Axer. Like, I managed to get through Denegra's feet turn. Like, it was terrible. But I got through it, and a very angry Axer ended up checking Denegra permanently out of the old Anchor Inn.
All right!
It was awesome.
Nice. All right, so there's our thoughts on the Journeyman Zeros.
Cool, let's not talk about them ever again.
Okay. We'll be talking about Sorsha again because we know Kevin's going to buy her.
Yeah, because Kevin will definitely play Sorsha at some point.
All right. Rampant speculation time.
The hottest of takes.
Who are going to be the zeros for Hordes?
Oh, for the love of it.
This was actually a fun conversation I had in the Circle
How Legion
group.
gets one, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
How Legion gets a zero. I mean, the only one that I could even see possibly getting a zero would have to be Thagrosh. And it'd have to be like Thagrosh Holder of Everblight or something, like when he's just like wandering around with the Athonk without actually like stuffing it up his butt or whatever the heck he did.
Yeah. Because Fiona 2, the reason they picked her is because, hey, fluff equals rules.
I guess that's true.
Got him. Because Legion Warlocks, they get the Athonk and then they have powers.
Yeah, so I don't like see
they don't necessarily have Journeyman. The Beast Mistress is a bit of a weird case, but
I'm gonna guess Thagrosh. It'll be a Thagrosh zero. Yeah. I think for Circle. I think there's
really
several
hope
good
not Kaya.
candidates.
I really hope.
I don't think it'll be Kaya.
Honestly, I hope it's Kruger.
That was my first thought, was that it's Kruger.
For the simple reason of Kaya's going to be living locked, Baldur's going to be construct locked.
Gunbjorn for Signar. Lame. But yes, a lot of people would talk about it that way.
Yeah. Who were the original 3 for Trolls?
Original 3 Warlocks for Trolls? Madrak, Doomy, and Gristle?
Oh.
Or maybe Madrak, Doomy, and Calandra. No, it wasn't Calandra.
No.
I don't know. I know Madrak and Doomy were.
Yeah. Anyways, with Circle, it's like, no, I really hope it's Kruger zero. One, because I love Kruger.
Yeah. That's really the only, to
like
me,
his story and
to me, Kruger makes the most sense
because he won't be.
I could see it being Kruger zero.
Which
Mosar
it
zero
is interesting creating zeros with Circle, because if you allow them to take wolves, you have to factor in Geomancy. And if you take
Mosar
both and
zero
put
could be
Megalith on the
interesting,
zero,
Mosar's so old.
Oh yeah, dude, Mosar before he was an omnipotent would be interesting.
That's what Lord Rock said. Yeah, Mosar zero would be interesting. I still think it's going to be Kruger, because I think Kruger's probably the Circle character that has the most character development at this point. If something that you notice with a lot of the zeros is their characters in the fluff. Once again, fluff designing rules, but even then, they have a lot of character development to them. Sevi obviously has a ton of character development. Kane has a ton of character development. Denegra is like one of the main characters of War Machine. Sorsha has been around forever. She's one of the originals, you know.
All of the zeros are one of the original 3 for their respective factions. So, of course, they're going to have a ton of character development.
So I think,
which is why it's like, okay, the original 3 for Circle were Kaya, Baldur, and Kruger, and it's like,
I could see a Baldur zero.
So we have a Living Locked Junior and a Construct Locked Junior. I just don't. I don't want.
I think it'll probably end up
2
being,
of Circle's themes already Living Lock themselves out.
I think. I mean, it could be Kaya, but I think Kruger is probably the most.
Yeah,
Kruger's definitely the lowest
Kaya
hanging
is
fruit.
just such a sad warlock right now in Circle. Everybody's going, please not her. Yeah. You guys have not done well with her so far. Please no. Also, don't give us another living lock. Like, oh gosh, Una's even worse than living lock. She's flying locked.
I think Scorn is an interesting one to look at because what were the original 3 for Scorn? It was Makeda,
yeah,
Xerxes, and Morgul.
Ooh,
I think all 3 of those are super interesting zeros because you have Makeda before she was the Empress.
Yep.
You have Morgul before, like Morgul on his way up through the ranks of the Pain Runners.
Yeah,
and you have Xerxes basically battling his way to the top of the military. Like all 3 of those.
Well, I mean, just the Scorn Fluff in general, the Hatsune Code and everything else, which in current times they seem to be deviating farther and farther away from. Because what are these guns? When did Scorn become gun heavy?
When Winds of Death came out.
Tubby Zero should be a theme. I agree.
Tubby Zero when he was just in a wheelchair and not on a palanquin.
Fat Denegra Zero. Let's do it.
But yeah, I don't know. I think of those 3, I'd probably rather see either a Makeda Zero or a Morgul Zero.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh. I don't know. I'd almost rather Morgul or Xerxes. I would love to see a Xerxes Zero.
Now, granted, the interesting thing to this point to notice.
Who has the characters?
Who has the characters?
Which, for Circle, that's only Balder.
True.
Because Megalith. Yes, Kaya technically has Laris, but Laris doesn't exist outside of Kaya 2 because she's riding him in Kaya 3.
So he exists in Kaya 3. Because you can attack with the mount.
His name does not appear anywhere with Kaya 3. It has to be Fluff.
You can attack with the mount.
Yes, you can. But the mount is Mount, not Laris.
True, because Laris was so much of a loser, they relegated him to just Mount.
It's all good. She still isn't painted or anything. Because, see, he has been delegated to Mount.
I don't remember who the OG trolls were. I know it was Madrak and Doomy, but I don't remember number 3.
I don't know. Can we look at the list of their warlocks and maybe figure out?
Maybe. I'm sure we could just Google search it.
Yeah, I'm sure we could. Pretty sure it wasn't Borka.
That would be cool, though.
That would be cool. I have no idea. All right. Still, either Doomy Zero or Madrak Zero would be interesting. Madrak before he picked up Rathrock. That would be cool.
That would be cool. I think Doomy Zero would be the most interesting. Like,
yeah,
like this ridiculous troll wandering around Western Emerald, just like, I want to learn everything there is to know. And he has yet to get to the point where he hates anything that's not like a dire troll. Because, like, let's be honest, Doomy doesn't even like his own people.
Yeah,
Doomy's like Trollkin are the worst. Why can't we all just be dire trolls? And I'm like, because that's lame. I mean, dire trolls are awesome, but we don't have a dire troll warlock.
I don't think you can have a dire troll warlock.
That would be crazy. The closest thing is like is Mulg, I think.
Exactly.
That would be insane.
You have a beast controlling other beasts.
Yeah. Chromac 2 exists.
He's not a war beast, though. He kind of has the stats of one, but
his closest makes no difference.
The Thard are their own little thing. No, the closest you have to a war beast controlling war beast is actually Belphegor. Bethane and Belphegor, because Bethane hops in Belphegor, but even that has its own little.
I mean, why can't we have a war beast controlling war beast? We have a warjack controlling warjacks.
Freaking Karchev.
Karchev.
Was it there are
breaking the rules.
There are how many different types of models? There's warriors, warlocks, warcasters, War Beasts, War Jacks, Battle Engines, Colossals, Gargantuans, and Karchevs.
Yep.
He is his own
And
thing.
Karchev.
Yeah, he is his own
Singular.
thing. By the way, going back to Circle, Wormwood Zero would be interesting. Cassius Zero would be interesting. And I would love to see a Getrick Zero.
What?
Before more
Zero? Why?
Why not?
He's just a slightly smaller tree?
Yeah, I am Groot.
Oh, God. That's the worst. That's the worst.
All right. Karchev Zero should also be made. Yes.
That would be cool. Karchev before he got stuck into a suit. That would be really interesting. I'd be about it.
By the way, Thorn CID, can we see Getrick Zero in that?
I'd love to see Butcher before his wife dies.
Yes.
So Butcher before he was
Lola?
Butcher before he was Butcher?
Yeah.
Butcher when he was just like a regular bro?
That would be cool.
Regular bro. But yeah, that'd be really... Golly.
It's funny.
That's almost...
Merc's talking about it. They're like, yeah, Magnus Zero would be... Wait, no. Magnus Zero would be Signar. Dang it.
Welcome to Mercs. Half of your casters would be another faction.
Half of their casters are in other factions?
Exactly. Magnus Zero. Signar.
Kane 3 and Connie B.
Connie B. Dude, she is the bomb. Connie B. Yes.
Yes. The kind that blows up in your face prematurely.
Dude, I miss Connie B. I miss seeing Connie B.
Okay. Well, yeah, I can understand that because that was an easy way.
Exactly. I always knew I could count it as a W whenever Connie B showed up, man. Especially because people who played Connie B in Mark II always played her in her tier, which only had the knights.
The precursor.
The precursor knights. And the precursor knights still weren't that great.
No.
It was awesome.
All right. Vamp for a bit. I'm going to rinse these out. Ooh, and I'm busting out the good beer.
I am excited.
So, on that note, just vamp for a bit because I haven't looked over your list yet. I want to be able to go over that too.
That's perfectly fine. That's my phone going off. Appropriate. Vern Troyer, Mini-Me in Austin Power Films dies at 49. What a shame. I'm going to have a moment of silence for that. They seem to hint recently that Magnus 3 is coming to the Blues. Well, that would make sense. In the Blood of Kings book, Magnus is basically the only reason why Julius is on the throne. So I can see that. I think that'd be cool. I'd like to see Magnus come back to Signar. I think that would be really neat. I'm really interested to see just where casters are going to go in general in the next little while, partially because of all the upheaval that's in the Iron Kingdoms right now. Severius is dead in the Protectorate, and a civil war is looming. There's going to be some really interesting stuff there. I think there's a great chance for some cool new models out of that. Obviously, with where Signar is going with Julius in the lead, Magnus 3 coming back. Seeing new changes and new weapons, and I know that they even at one point mentioned that the continent of Zoo is like gonna start playing a role in War Machine and Hordes.
Oh, I can't wait for that to happen.
Which is gonna be super cool.
I now own 2 Totem Hunters, a male and a female.
Oh yeah, that's right, because the mini crate one, which is sick. But I think that's gonna be really cool. I think there could be some interesting stuff going on with Kador, especially because Empress Anya What's-Her-Butt and Vladimir Sapesky have gotten married.
Yep.
All right.
So, this is the 2015 Goose Island Bourbon County brand stout. It says on the bottle it'll age for up to 5 years. So I have enough to only open one of these per year. Some of the chaos that's been going on with me are some trade exams. So I am now North American Technician Excellence certified. It's a closed book test, which means I actually know some shit about my trade. In celebration, I'm opening this up. We're going to drink it.
Yeah, we are.
And yeah, this is my one for the year. I'm so excited. I love this thing. Each one I've had has been so good.
Ooh, that has a good color to it.
Oh, it does. Yeah, whatever.
It's pretty evenly mixed there.
Yeah, except that's thinner. It's all good. That's yours.
Aw, yeah. Congratulations,
Cheers,
my friend.
Thank you. Oh. You can taste more of the bourbon than last time.
Holy macaroni and cheese.
It's so good.
That's really good.
This is a sipping beer. Oh.
That aftertaste, though.
Dude, yeah.
That aftertaste, though.
I think that hit us both at the same time.
Oh, man.
Oh, you let that sit and wait. No. Yeah. So they released that only around Black Friday. I've been stupid and forgotten the past 2 years. This year, I must remember to buy more. Mm-hmm. Oh, that is so good.
So we're going to take a break from our regular scheduled program and sit and enjoy a beer for the moment. Wait,
this was regularly scheduled?
Programming.
I was like, wait, which part of this is confusing? This was regularly scheduled?
No.
By the way, thanks, Lord Orc.
No, but it'd be really funny if it was regularly scheduled.
Oh my gosh.
It's, dude. Oh. Dude.
Yep. That's real good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
All right. Well,
all right,
now that we're enjoying this, let's do some list dojo.
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So I've got a list. I actually need to build it real quick on my tablet because I built it on my phone.
Ha. Wait, I'm ahead of you?
No, it's on my. I could pull it up on my phone, but my phone is small. Like I don't want to.
The history of prohibition. This is. Canada kind of kicked ass because we smuggled all kinds of shit to the U.S. during prohibition.
Shut up. Canada's just the funky hat that America wears.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have had booze during that time if it wasn't for us.
Sure, we would have. We had people like the Italians.
Okay, fair, but Canada was the biggest exporter. Biggest smuggler, for sure.
I won't argue that. So, like I said before, we're aiming to go to War Machine Weekend this year, which is in November.
Yep.
And something that I know both of us like to do is when we have an event coming up, whether it be a tournament or something like that, we tend to pick two lists.
And we play the crap out of
We played
that.
those lists up until the tournament because those are the lists we want to take. Plus, with it being obviously in St. Louis and we're in Albuquerque, we have to travel. And I don't want to take a crap ton of models with me. I'd like to take one bag and call it good.
Yeah, it's a huge benefit when you can pack everything into one bag, which means that we're probably neither of us are going to be taking huge bases. Which means despite playing Legion right now, I will not be bringing Legion with me to War Machine Weekend.
You're not going to play your Abbey 1 list?
I have huge bases in every... Oh, God, my Abbey... How am I going to transport the Archangel? Oh, dear God.
Tie it to the hood of your car. Like a hunting
I don't know about you, but I'm planning on flying.
Sure.
Have you seen how long of a drive that is?
Yeah, I've made the drive to St. Louis before.
Yeah, I'd rather fly.
I would too.
Another reason for only one bag, which means no huge bases. Mm-hmm. And I have a huge base in every single one of my Legion lists.
Yeah.
Lilith 1 has 2 thrones. Twins have 1 throne. Abby has both Gargs.
Sure.
So, all right, the list he's building is High Executioner Servath Resnick, which is Resnick 1.
Resnick 2 is a huge base.
Yeah. This is in the Faithful Masses theme. Mm-hmm. He has a Hierophant, Revenger, Templar, Scourge of Heresy, Allegiant Order of the Fist. That's the Kicky Monk, right?
Yeah, that's the Kicky Monk. That's the I'm going to contest this flag and you can't do anything about it.
No, that's the whatever Exemplar Seneschal that doesn't freaking die.
Have you looked at the Allegiant of the Order of the Fist?
Yeah, there's ways to get around him.
Him and his Def 20?
Yeah, his and his S&M.
Well, yeah, you can do that too. The cool thing is Allegiant of the Order of the Fist can't be knocked down.
Yeah. So Vilmon for free.
Yeah.
Max Squire, 2 max units of Idrian Skirmishers with UAs. One of the UAs are free. And that is 75 points. So yeah, have I looked at the Legion Order of the Fist? Oh no, he doesn't have Stone and Mortar. Is that which one gives him Stone and Mortar?
That's the Paladin. The Paladin of the Order of the Wall has
Vilmon has S&M.
No.
Yes, he does. I'm looking at him right now.
Yeah, he does. No, the Legion of the Order of the Fist has Shifting Sand Stance, which he forfeits his normal movement or combat action to gain +4 defense. If an enemy attack misses him at any time except while it is advancing, after the attack is resolved, this model can immediately make a full advance.
Yeah, he's arm 12. Kill him with Blast.
Sure, you could do it. The goal of the Kicky Monk, though, is he's never near the rest of your army.
Yeah,
he's always.
He is a very, very good solo for flag.
He's always basically like
or just contesting
like
whatever.
One of his vintage uses is in Spread the Net. You stick him on the side of your opponent's flag and just run him across the field.
Yeah,
and then just have him hang out within 4 inches of the flag and have nobody else near him, and he just sits there at Def 18. You can't knock me down, and I get to move around.
Faithful Masses gives all your jacks Hand of Vengeance?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it makes my jacks really freaking good.
Maybe we should go over the theme, because...
Sure. I'm in Faithful Masses. For anybody that doesn't know, you can take Protectorate Casters, non-character Warjacks, Avatar of Menoth, Deliverer models, Idrian models, Paladin models, Reclaimer models, Vassal models, Zealot models, Choir of Menoth, of course, a Legion of the Order of Fist solos, the Covenant of Menoth, Hierophant solos, Initiate Tristan Durant, and Rack solos.
Book? What's wrong with you?
I'm
joking. The Covenant isn't as good as he was in Mark II.
Yeah, I know. And plus, I don't want the spell denial because Resnick's kind of about cast spells. I want you to cast spells so that I can do things.
That is a funny interaction.
This army can also include 1 mercenary solo or 1 mercenary unit that works for Protectorate, yada, yada, yada. For every full 20 points of Paladin solos and Protectorate units in
every sip of that is so good.
1 Protectorate weapon crew, Protectorate command attachment, or small medium base Protectorate solo for free. Protectorate heavy warjacks and colossals in this army gain Hand of Vengeance, so when 1 or more friendly faction warrior models are destroyed or removed from play within 5 inches, they gain +2 to attack and damage rolls on melee.
I just heard your last benefit. I'm thinking, oh god, that's so strategistic. That's amazing.
And before models are deployed at the start of the game, you can place 1 wall template anywhere completely within 20 inches of the rear edge of your deployment zone. The temple cannot be placed within 3 inches of a hill, obstacle, or obstruction, and it grants cover.
So remind me, how many of your jacks have Pathfinder?
None of them.
Enjoy that wall.
That's okay. That's okay.
It is okay. I just think that's funny. It's like, cool, have this thing that... Yeah.
Well, so the cool thing that I like about this is the Jack package that I've got, which is Scourge of Heresy, who's just awesome with Resnick.
Yeah, no
He's
kidding.
Just a beast. And he's only 16 points. He's a character Jack that's only 16 points. 2 Templars, who are on the old chassis, so only speed 4. However, they have shields, making them armed 21. They're immune to non-magic shooting as they walk forward.
There's an easier way to look at all this stuff. That's go to war. Seriously, go to war. You can just...
It's true.
When you look at war.
They have a...
Wow, your Revenger's the fastest at 5.
Yeah. We're Menoth, bro.
Yeah.
We are. There's a PAL 13 shield, a PAL 17 flail that has 2-inch range and has beatback. Cool thing is if Hand of Vengeance is procced and they have battle, that's instead of P+S 21 shield.
What?
Yeah.
Wait,
no, not shield.
What?
Flail. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You'll learn. I misspeak a lot. The shield is still P+S 17.
let's see, 14.3% alcohol by volume.
I love it.
When it was bottled. It says, tag right here.
Yeah.
Develops in the bottle up to 5 years. I have no idea what this thing's at now.
So I really like having the 2 Templars in there because
double shield guard.
They're both armed 21, which means they're pretty reliable. They've got a lot of boxes. Yeah. They're each on 30? 2. They're each on 32 boxes.
I told you there was an easier way to look at this.
Right. And basically they hide behind basically the screen of Idrians, who are also really good. And if I remember right, Resnick has Ignite. If I remember right. Yes, Resnick has Ignite, so he can throw Ignite onto one unit of Idrians the turn before. They charge in on a prey target or something, doing a lot of damage because they also have brutal attack.
Now, aren't they good stats to start with? Yeah, Mat 6. So, I mean, you don't necessarily need the prey and...
No, not really, but the prey is nice.
The prey is nice because 6 to 8 is usually one of the biggest chunks on the bell curve. Mm-hmm. And in particular, Def 14 infantry, that's huge.
Well, the cool thing is they also have brutal charge. So they go from P+S 10 to P+S 12 to P+S 14 to P+S 16 with Ignite on a charge.
I hate you.
And so you cast Ignite on one unit of Idrians the turn before. They charge into whatever they need to charge into.
Yep.
You activate Resnick, hot swap your Ignite over to your next unit. And this is after they've already taken a turn or so of shooting. So you have 2 units that are charging at P+S 16, and then you have 4 heavy jacks that are coming, or 3 heavy jacks that are coming up behind you.
Oh, Scourge! Oh dear God!
And you have Scourge. And then if I have
Proc Hand of Vengeance because of theme, your P+S 22 Purgation.
And if I have
as a Woldweird player, I know how good Purgation is. You have a Stormwatch Arcade Shield? Watch this! And dead.
If I have Brand of Heresy on them, it's boosted. Purgation is additional.
Dick.
I'm rolling 4 dice at P+S 21. 22. There you go.
Yeah,
sure.
It's base 18.
And so,
what's his bond?
His bond is something.
Hey, RFP.
Spell. Yeah, it's
okay.
When I destroy
once per
an
turn
enemy model, while this model is bonded to him, he can make a full advance. Curse you, Manoth. That's fair.
It's cute.
It's cute. It's not great.
It's a Tim Banky cute.
The cool thing is, however...
Still, man, Purgation's a good rule.
Witch Hound. When an enemy model hits one models in this model's battle group with a magic attack, immediately after the attack is resolved, one model can move up to 3 inches and make one basic attack.
Oh my gosh. Once per turn when Resnick destroys.
Yes.
Oh.
There's some scornergy with the list. There's definitely some scornergy with the
I was saying, dude, if you could proc Witch Hunt with Scourge and then move Scourge further, that'd be amazing. But it's like, no, Resnick has to do it.
But with Witch Hound, my heavies are suddenly a lot faster than you think they are. Because
never mind that with Witch Hound and Hand of Vengeance.
Exactly. Or if I want to, because the Revenger's in it a bit for Resnick to be able to cast spells through, right? Brand of Heresy on something that he needs to. Or possibly Perdition.
Oh, he's the guy that racks people.
When an enemy model is damaged by Perdition, immediately after the attack is resolved, one Warjack in the spellcaster's battle group that is currently in its control can make a full advance toward the nearest enemy model. I just Perdition off some random nobody warrior, make another 4-inch movement with one of my heavies.
Doesn't work that way. Oh, no, it's the nearest enemy model.
Nearest enemy model. It works that way.
It does work that way. It's not the model killed.
No, it's the nearest enemy model, which means it's a 4-inch movement forward, which means my heavies are a lot faster in this list than the Speed 4 gives them credit for. Yes, Curse You Manoth is indeed the correct response. Actually, you got it wrong. It's Praise You Manoth.
No. I worship the Devourer. Fuck you.
Gross. Dirt-loving, tree-hugging hippies.
Damn right. And dude, I'm pretty sure, like, even Legion, they're closer to Devourer worship than they would be Menoth anyways.
Legion? Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
no, even Retribution hates Menoth.
Everybody hates Menoth.
Yeah.
I know these things. I mean,
okay.
Some people in Kador kind of like us.
Yeah, it's like Kador. I think there's some Menites in Signar.
Not a lot.
Not a lot, but they exist. Signar also has plenty of convergence. Worship the math goddess in the sky. Sure, why not?
You mean the moon? Because that's all she is the moon.
Marwyn is a Church of England with more maces.
That's 110% correct. You betcha, buddy.
Yep.
It's like, and it's not even like Church of England per se, because it's like hardcore, like 16th and 17th century church. Like, we're talking Puritan status here. It's gnarly.
I don't like Resnick's feet versus Hordes.
Resnick's feet's cool too. Like,
lose all fury points? Fuck you!
Like, I'm really excited about this list.
Wow.
Like, I don't know if it's going to be anywhere near good, but I really want to try it.
Considering how many Hordes players we have?
I know.
You're a dick.
I know. You're talking to the guy that played Calandra for like 4 months straight.
I know.
I already know these things. The only problem with this list is I have to spend $90 to get it up and running. Because
that's not too bad, actually.
It's not too well. It's a little more than $90 because I've got to buy the jacks. I've got to buy both the jack packages because I don't actually own any Templars, and I'd have to buy another unit of Idrians and the UA. So that's closer to like 110.
I hit a point with Legion last year where I needed to spend $300 just to get them to where I wanted. Two Thrones of Everblight don't help.
Yeah, but I'm a teacher. I don't make a lot of money.
Fair. I kind of lucked out in that. Yeah. Trades are awesome. We need more people in trades in general. But yeah.
Sure. But
using a trade as a legitimate trade.
That's kind of the idea behind the list is have a good.
I mean, Idrians are Idrians. They're just
Idrians are good on their own, and Resnick doesn't really do anything for the Idrians except for Ignite. That's really the only thing he does for them.
But the Idrians are so self-sufficient.
That's the thing that I love about them, and the Ignite just makes them better. And so I feel like this list, pair this list with. I'm excited to see what happens with I'm waiting to see what happens with the Exemplar CID before I pick my second list because I'd love to play. To be fair, I'd love to play one of the Krioses because in Mark II, Krios 2 was my favorite. Was like my second favorite.
Because this is one of those. Okay, considering how much Kevin enjoys playing Trenchers, I could see this list having a problem into Trenchers. Overall, they outgun you or they outrange you with guns. Idrians do die to guns pretty easily. Like fairly heavy gun lines, you are going to have a problem with that. I can definitely see as a weakness.
I would agree with that. I think, thankfully, they have dig in on turn one, so I can dig in to hopefully, or not even on turn one. They have dig
go to ground,
which gives them dig in.
Yeah.
So I can. There's
so
one.
You have one turn
mitigating it. I mean, that's why I'm waiting to see what's my second list going to be. Right, if I can run an Exemplar Interdiction Force that has
go to ground is better than dig in because you don't lose it when you reposition.
Yeah,
frickin' bone, whatever, brigands, but frickin' Pharaoh brigands.
If I can have an Exemplar Interdiction list that runs with this that puts me 2 inches further up the table with a bunch of advanced deploy errants, that would be really nice.
That would be really nice.
Like that.
Dude, that theme force needs work.
Well, it's going to get work.
It is going to get work.
Exemplar Interdiction itself doesn't need work. The theme force itself is good. The rules to it are solid.
One of the issues I have with that theme force is the jack buff that it gives.
Blessed?
Yeah. I mean, sure, it's cool, but you have a jack buff in an infantry-heavy list.
Yeah,
that's the part where I'm like, okay, this seems a little weird.
I don't have an issue with that. I think most players like a lot, having the blessed on the weapons. What I think it needs is the Exemplar models themselves need the work, need the overhaul.
Just like Tharn.
Exactly, just like Tharn. I think, unfortunately, errants aren't a bad unit. The problem is when you compare them to what else is in the faction. Adrians, they're going to be lackluster every single day.
I'm going to say, it's not what else is in the faction. It's when you compare Adrians to Errants.
Exactly, because they fill the same role. They're both skirmish units.
Because Adrians are 915 with a 5-point UA.
As opposed to... I think the Errants are... I think they're 1016. I could be wrong, though.
Exemplar Errants, 1016.
With a 4-point, I think.
With a 4-point UA.
So they're the same
So unit with UA, they are the exact same.
They're the same cost, but the thing is, you get so much more work out of the Adrians because the Adrians are better on the shot. And they're just better. That's
the thing is the Adrians are much more effective offensively. Exemplar Errants have a bit better use defensively with higher armor and self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
And if you the UA is what,
if you take
Sacred
the full
Ward?
Boat, if you take the full boat,
or
they get Sacred Ward with
mini
the
feet.
UA. The mini feet is Sacred
Mini
Ward.
feet Sacred Ward.
They also should have, I think they
But the thing is, when you're spending 20 points, work is going to trump like being able to win versus not losing is going to take control every time.
Which is why I think the Adrians,
that's more or less how I look at the two.
Which is why I think the Adrians are always worth it.
Yeah, the Adrians allow you to win because they are so offensively good. Mm-hmm. The Errants, with all their defensive butts, are defensive butts.
Defensive butts.
Yeah. With all the stuff they can do defensively, are the models you put in there to not lose.
Sure.
Because they're the ones that keep contesting scenario. Like they're the guys that don't die, so you don't lose. Whereas the Adrians are the ones that allow you to win because they have the better end game.
Exactly.
So yeah, I would take 20 points to win. Have the win condition every time. I mean, my Lilith 1 list got down to how few point support, especially after the Ravagore got put in.
Well, and that's the other thing that I like a lot about this Resnick list.
Yeah, there's a ton of work.
There's the support is the
Choir, Hierophant,
and the Hierophant. That's my support.
Kicky Monk.
Kicky Monk's not support.
Kicky Monk is support.
Kicky Monk is it.
Okay.
The Kicky Monk,
a model that allows you to not lose, I consider support.
See,
I put it more on the support end than the work end.
Okay, then we just think about it slightly different because I think support as being a model that makes other units better.
Fair.
See, for me, the Kicky Monk is a scenario. Okay. The Kicky Monk is a scenario piece.
Yeah, he's a scenario.
You have support.
Yeah, he's not support. He's not work.
You have support. You have work. You have scenario pieces.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Kicky Monk is a scenario piece, which is something with the advent of Steamroller 2017, you have to have in almost every single list. You have to have scenario.
Yeah, Vilmon support, but you've got him for free.
Vilman is support, but Vilman can also do work. He's a P + S 14 weapon master with reach.
He can 1-inch melee.
Oh, that's right. He changed.
Yeah,
he used to have 2-inch.
Good thing we're going over this now. But it's like even then with S&M stance, with Stone and Mortar stance, and the what is it? Righteous Vengeance.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, he could also be.
Well, okay, no, it was Shield Guard and Stone and Mortar. Those are the two that kind of put him more in the support role.
But he could also be a scenario piece because he's an 8-box model scenario. At P + S 21.
And there are plenty of support pieces that do become work later on in the game. Like they are. He's one of the late game pieces. Like he's one of the guys that if the game goes to round 5+, he helps you close out.
I'm Protectorate. It always goes to round 5+.
You're Protectorate. You play the round 7 game.
Exactly. I mean, not so much this one because my Idrians will probably be gone after like turn 3 or 4.
Yeah, but you have a bunch of high armor, shield guard stuff. You're still going for round 7.
It's true. And Protectorate plays that.
Also speed 4
game all the time. Yes, but as we've already talked about, my jacks are a bit faster than their speed stat.
Yes. Yes, they are. Oh my gosh, every sip of that. Oh,
it's so good. It's so good. Oh. I would say y'all go out and try it, but you can't.
Yeah. Wait till Black Friday. Get it then. Worth it. So oh yeah. So how does this compare to the Woot Stout?
Oh dude, that Woot Stout was so good. Like,
speaking of seasonal beers,
I don't know. Like, personally, I think the Woot Stout tasted better when it first hit your mouth.
Yeah.
But this has such an incredible aftertaste. Like
and it lasts for so
the aftertaste
long.
of this beer is so good, and it's like it's rich. It's got that nice kind of smooth malty aftertaste that you get out of it. It's just,
and even then you wait for a bit, and then there's that sweet spot that hits.
Sweet that hits after. But you have kind of the, not so much the bitterness, but you taste the bourbon.
Yeah.
At first, and so the sweet and that kind of rich, smooth coming afterwards, after that real harsh bourbon that you get at the beginning of it. Oh, see, the Woot didn't have the Woot had a good aftertaste. It wasn't this.
No, the Woot didn't linger.
No, the Woot didn't linger. The Woot had an aftertaste.
This lingers.
Oh yeah. Oh Lord.
So stuff this would be really good into. Yeah. It's like, no, your list definitely more or less depends on getting in melee. What? Wait, what? Okay, no, it's just the one dude just the chieftain that has 2 melee attacks.
Yeah.
How is he holding 3 weapons?
One of them is sheathed, I guess.
I guess.
I don't know.
He doesn't have quick draw.
It's been that way since Mark 1.
Yeah, but they haven't been playable until Mark 3.
That is also a very true statement. They've not been playable since until Mark 3, but they are very playable now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this would, I think this would be good.
Charge. No, okay. Brutal charge, it's only 1 POW higher than your military rifle, but Ignite is the one that puts him over.
I think, I mean,
you have a good range presence.
I've seen what these guys can do.
Yeah.
I remember a game back at the very beginning of Mark 3 when I had them
and
charge.
Your guide has weapons, so you have 44 of them.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I remember I charged, I think it was only 4 of them into a TEP, and the TEP was gone.
You just back die. What are the odds on that? What's the stats of the TEP?
I don't know. I think he may have also taken some Reckoner shots, but I'm not sure.
I want to work this out right now.
The TEP
Look up the TEP.
I'd say the TEP only has like 22 or 23 hitboxes. It didn't change in hitbox from its old count.
It gained 1.
So I think 23? Because I think it only had 22.
Because 23 is a prime number.
Yeah, because I think it only had 22 and they changed it to 23.
Yeah, it gained a hitbox as a joke.
Yes.
How amazing is that? Convergence, Battle Engines, TEP. Yeah, it's at 23 right now. 1019. 1019 with 23 boxes. Yep, you are correct, sir.
Got it. So I mean, they're only dice off 3 because it was their prey target.
Okay. So dice off 3. So they're mat 8. People says 14.
People says 16.
Or 16.
They were people says 16.
Ignite.
I was playing them with Thyra, but they
them.
were people says 16.
Okay.
Because I think.
So 2 dice to hit, 3 dice to charge.
Because she had Silence of Death on
4 of them?
Yeah.
Holy.
That's an interesting face. Either I spiked really high on my dice, or it's a whole lot more likely than Ben thought it was.
It's a whole lot more likely than I thought it was.
What's the odds on it?
88.46.
Woo, buddy. Now imagine me putting a couple of these into a jack that they've prayed.
It only drops to an 85.21 with the 1 extra box.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
oh.
Exactly. Dat look, though.
Okay, I'm interested to watch this back and see my realization on that of just, holy crap.
I mean,
okay. How many do you need for a Kador Jack?
Let's see. They've got
34
boxes at arm 20.
Yeah.
So I'm dice off 4. Dice off 4. If I've got everything.
Jeez. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So 5 of them is a 39.60 chance.
So 1 in 3 times.
You put 1 more on there, so 6 of them, and it jumps all the way up to 72.05.
Unless one of those is the leader and has 2 attacks.
Screw you.
I mean,
by the way, the app I'm using for this is Odds Machine.
I mean that's
it's very useful.
That's why I'm so interested in having the Idrians be.
Yeah, I mean, when you have 44 of them, like in that list, so many of them can die, and you can still get a ton of work. Like they're like Banes, except they have advanced deploy.
Yeah,
and they die easy,
and they can shoot.
Yeah,
and they've got P+S11 or P+S13 if it's a prey target shots.
Yeah,
and they have CRA, I think.
Yes, they do.
Oh, and they have Repo.
Advanced deploy, Pathfinder, Repo 3,
CRA.
They're a solid unit. They just have victim stats. Like, that's the only downside. They have victim stats.
At 13, 14. But the thing is, that's what they're meant to be, though. They're meant to be a skirmish unit. They're meant to get work done so that the jacks can close.
I think they're they are the epitome of glass cannon. Because they are one hell of a cannon.
They can put a lot of work down.
And the wind blows in the wrong direction and they fall over.
That's true. I think this list will be good into most Hordes lists.
Yeah.
Merely because the threat of Resnick's feet.
The threat of Resnick's feet. Also,
Actual
and beasts being so expensive. Like that is a thing.
Yeah.
Stealth spam, whether it be battle group or infantry, I think is potentially going to be a problem.
I'll struggle with stealth spam.
I think you pretty much just have to deal with stealth spam, which stealth spam also usually involves guns. I mean, Thorn females is the only stealth melee spam that I can think of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
excuse me.
We'll see. Well, and once again, obviously, this isn't a pair. So we'll see what the pairing ends up being.
Yeah, and battle group stealth is a lot more rare.
I'm not sure if it's going to end up being an exemplar interdiction force or if I'm just going to go creator's might.
You're going to go exemplar interdiction. Who are you kidding? CID.
Well, yeah.
I mean, dude, I'm going to be running. I already know I'm going to be running Tharn and Bones. Mm-hmm. More than likely, it'll be Wormwood Tharn and Tanith Bones, because I think Tanith Bones is still hilarious. It'll either be Tanith or Kruger too.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know.
Kevin telling me he's going to be at Twin Suns tomorrow.
Nice. When do you have to go?
I'll probably have to get going here pretty soon. Okay. Actually, and we've been going for like an hour and 15 minutes or so. This has been a while.
Well, my audio recording over here is at an hour 32.
And we posted on Facebook 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, and that's the
lols. But I mean, we had to bust in and try the good stuff.
Oh yeah, we have to enjoy this. I'm just going, okay, there's probably not enough time to dojo either of my lists. Or any of my lists.
We'll do that on the next one of these.
Yeah.
Because
I am enjoying this. We're going to have to do this more.
Because I think this could be something that could be really cool to do as a more regularly scheduled type thing. I mean, and by regular schedule, we're talking about our regular idea of a schedule, which is...
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not going to be Saturdays normally, but I mean, if we can find like a weekday evening, that works. Sure. And by evening, I mean like 7 p.m. or later. I could do an hour and a half, 2 hour slot.
That could probably be figured out. But I mean, I think Lord Rourke, you've been enjoying this a lot. Any of you?
I'd appreciate you hopping in.
Yeah, any of you who watch this on YouTube?
Of which this won't take long to upload to YouTube. I just need to. YouTube will have better audio because I am recording that on my tablet because Twitch just has been weird for me when it comes to audio.
Yeah, Twitch is a bit weird on the audio, but those of you who watch this on YouTube, drop a comment on whether or not you enjoyed this kind of a environment, this kind of list dojoing, talking about state of the game, answering questions in the Twitch chat, enjoying some of our semi-drunken rambling, because Should Have Turned Left is all about semi-drunken rambling.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's like, okay, we are not professional players.
Not in the least.
We don't travel that often.
No.
We are not on that level. I mean,
Ben's the best player in the meta.
Yeah. And I would still put myself at a bigger convention, at best, X and 1.
Sure.
Like, sure. I've won a thing at Feast of Blades a few years ago, which was hilarious. But the thing is, that was happening during the Masters tournament, so all the sharks were over there, which I was basically playing in the kiddie pool. I remember my finals game, because it was Mark II, and I had a good enough opponent that he forced me to pull every single trick out of Morvana 2's book. And that was an awesome game.
Yeah, see, I'm nowhere near that good of a player. You can ask Ben. I'm actually pretty poor at playing the game of War Machine.
You're one of those, you're better than you think you are, but it might take you a little bit to get back up to that point because you've been out of practice.
That's true. I haven't played a War Machine game in like a month.
Yeah.
Or so. But yeah.
But it's like, that's why, that's one of those, is like, that's part of why we drink. We are not pretending to be anything we're not. we are not pros. We're not even going to try to really.
We play this game because it's a game, because we enjoy it,
and we have fun.
Yeah, and we have fun, and we do this a lot of times. We do it to celebrate stuff. That's why we're drinking this beer.
Oh heck yeah,
we're celebrating something. We figured, let's celebrate something. Let's share it with you guys who. We've poured a lot of time into doing stuff for you guys, and as a community, we try.
Yep. Guess what I haven't done?
What?
I haven't pressed record on that, so I'm using the Twitch stream.
Yes.
It's been a while, so video quality is not going to be as great as normal. Sorry about that, guys.
Hey, you know what? It is what it is.
Oh gosh, I'm just straight up using the Twitch stream.
Sounds fine.
Whatever. It has been way too long since I've done this.
I mean, it's been several months.
Yeah.
The last recording we did was Fort Lewis.
What? Collins?
Yeah, Collins. Fort Lewis is a college in Durango.
And I haven't released any of that, partially because the video's not that great, honestly.
Have you watched it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of it.
Here, I'll pull some of it up for you.
Well, let's save that for a later date. That's not something that needs to happen on stream.
Yeah, but it's like, look at how much of that side of the map we're just missing.
Sure.
And there is, most of these games, there is a lot that happens on that. So what I'm looking at right now is, I don't remember which scenario this is. It's 4 zones.
It's the box. It's got the 2 circulars on the sides and the 2 squares.
The 2 rectangles towards the middle, objectives in the center, and you can't see the bottom of one of the circles. That's how much of the board is missing.
Yeah, I think this was probably the best way we're going to be able to film for that, though. So
yeah,
but yeah, we'll work to start getting battle reports back out. Don't expect it on a super regular schedule.
No,
we're both super busy. Summer's coming around, which means Ben is going to be busy again with his work. Summer, hilariously enough, summer is hard for Ben, whereas as a teacher, summer is very easy for me because I have summers off.
Yeah.
June, July, and halfway through August, I'm not at work.
But I mean, the flip side is this is part of why it's like, no, I try to make sure you know how to run things so that if I'm not around, you can, so that when I am swamped, you have the potential to do so. But it also depends on the rest of our meta.
Yeah, we need other people. So once again, if you're watching this and you're somewhere in the Southwest, Denver, even Phoenix, I suppose, somewhere in New Mexico, you want to come in, play a game, get it recorded, be on YouTube, be famous.
Famous, right?
I couldn't say that with a straight face.
I'm still weirded out by people that recognize us whenever we travel.
Send us a Facebook message. Should have turned left on Facebook. Send us a Facebook message. We'll figure out a time you can come play. If you're elsewhere
if
in the nation,
send us a Facebook message, depending on who you are, we will probably direct you to our personal Facebook accounts because Facebook Pages Manager sucks.
It's true. If you're elsewhere in the nation and you want to meet up with us, you want to say hi. Like we said, we're hoping to make it to War Machine Weekend this November. Yep. If out of the goodness and charity of your heart you so feel you want to help us get there, we've got a Patreon page.
Yep. Patreon.com/should have turned left.
We're not telling you need to, but anything is appreciated to help us get there.
And that's one of those, it's like, if by some miracle we get enough, I will take my equipment out.
Yep.
I will take my equipment out. I mean, last time I went to War Machine Weekend, I did bring some beer with me. We'll probably do that again.
Buddy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll beer swap. We'll have some fun.
Yo, and Sabra, get in touch.
Yes.
Get in touch, man. Or woman. We miss you. I said man, but I know Sabra. And I respect her a great deal.
I know. She is awesome.
I've also had all of this, which was far more than the 14 point, whatever it was that it said.
14.3 the first year. We're 3 years into this thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Aging.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got the drunken ramblings. Unfortunately, it was at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it's probably.
But yeah, I mean, if I can somehow do it, I'll bring equipment out there. Not all that likely, because I kind of really don't want to transport my computer on a plane.
Definitely. Obviously, we'll be flying. So, but yeah. If you are in the national outside of the Southwest,
and you just want to have fun drinking, playing,
and you want to hang out with us, let us know. Get in touch with us. I think we're both pretty dedicated to trying to make it a War Machine Weekend this year.
Yep.
So yeah. Get in touch with us. Let us know. We will definitely play a game with you. We'll hang out with you.
And if you're ever in the Albuquerque area, definitely hit us up.
Definitely.
I've said it before. One of the reasons I started this channel and the specific format that I've got, being drunk doesn't help, but it's fun.
That makes it all bearable.
Yeah. Sometimes, yes. King Dark Host. But no, you get to rewatch your game, and if you've never played a game, recorded it, and rewatched it, and analyzed your own play, it's pretty interesting because there are a lot of insights you can pick up by watching yourself that you wouldn't get any other way.
Can ask Ben. The quality and the caliber of player I was when we started this channel and the quality and caliber of player I am now has increased dramatically due to the fact that I've been able to sit back and watch my games.
Oh, not just that, but the quality and caliber of player of anybody who's been on this channel in any local events. Mm-hmm. Like, seriously, anybody who's been on this channel, probably with the exception of Wiley. But Wiley Wiley works at a game store. He gets to have a bunch of games repeatedly. Mm-hmm. But for anybody else, those that have played on this channel generally perform a heck of a lot better at local tournaments, just because of that self-analyzation and being able to do that.
I didn't place in a tournament until after I started playing on this channel. After the first tournament that I took place in, after I started playing it, I took first.
Yeah, and I wasn't playing in that one.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying. I've already said you're the best player in the stinking meta, Ben. Golly.
Yeah, I mean, before it was, okay.
Just go crap on my accomplishments, why don't you?
Whenever Frank and when Frank and I were here, it was, okay, when Frank and I play, who wins? Because that's who's winning the tournament. Right now, it's probably, okay, when do Wiley and I play, who wins? That's who's probably going to win.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Depends on the matchup I get with Wiley. If I get a good matchup with Wiley, I can
if you get the good wet, yeah. If you get,
there's been a couple of games against Wiley that I have just pounded him into the ground.
Yeah, Wiley knows Dark Host is a silver bullet against me, which is why I get to keep playing against it.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Definitely. All right. I think we're done for now. So what you're saying is that your opponent aren't used to getting hammered while playing War Machine. That is also a thing.
We don't get hammered.
Speak for yourself.
I don't get hammered. Oh,
I think myself and anybody will point to the day I buried my grandpa.
Yo, but that was a special
beer number 11.
That was a special circumstance.
Yes,
anyways,
it was.
like we said, I think that's probably how far we're going to let this run.
Yeah, but I mean, the other thing is playing on the clock. Yes, I do it just to have time, just so the game ends, but it does help people deal with that pressure.
Definitely. Lord Rourke, thanks for hanging out. It was fun. Anybody else who may have been in this Twitch chat, it was awesome. Those of you who are on
last time I looked, there were
YouTube,
2 viewers.
thanks. Until next time, happy wargaming, y'all.
Cheers.